Hey, we're coming to you from the Millennium Falcon. It's time to review Solo, a Star Wars story.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Really?
Yeah.
Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum.
You had to do that opening, didn't you? With the scroll and all that.
Yeah.
This is a Star Wars review, obviously. Guys, thanks for joining us. Welcome to a Cinefanatics review. We're talking about Solo, a Star Wars story. I'm Chris Adams.
And I'm Robert Adams.
This is the Cinefanatics review. So, we're talking about Solo, this movie that we all asked for,
Exactly.
that we really wanted badly.
You know how many letters I wrote into Disney/Lucasfilm asking for a Han Solo background story?
Way too many, you shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Anyway, just right off the top, we might have a slight differing opinion on this, which is going to make this review fun. Let's start off with the storyline. So you really wonder, like, okay, we're going back and exploring Han Solo's early years before A New Hope. Well, first of all, he was already young in A New Hope, so how much younger are we going to make him? So we want to explore this. We want to explore how he became the smarmy smuggler that we all know and love.
Say that 5 times fast.
Smarmy smug? No, I'm not going to. Storyline. It was good. It was a good story.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very basic story. It's a heist movie.
Yes.
You really didn't catch a lot of that in the trailer.
No. It's kind of hard to show a heist movie in a trailer. There's so many intricate parts and pieces that are all being put together in this movie that it's kind of hard to get a scope of what the movie is about, how it's going to flow, how it looks, how it feels in just those few like little bits and pieces. So I believe that made it kind of difficult from the trailer. I know when I first saw the trailer, I was like, it looks watchable. And after seeing it, I was like, this is a much better movie than the trailer made it out to be. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. It definitely had some flaws, but I was entertained. It was a good movie. So,
Now, on the flip side, I do agree it was entertaining. Here's where I stand on it, though. For me, I enjoyed the movie. It was a good movie. I don't think it was a good Star Wars movie. I think in the realm of Star Wars and everything that we know about Star Wars, it was lacking a lot. It just didn't have a whole lot of Star Wars feel to me. That being said, they did drop a whole lot of what we like to call Memba berries. Remember this? Remember this? Kind of a nostalgic throwback to a lot of things that happened in Star Wars before. A lot of the stuff is kind of really based on, hey, these are things of Han Solo's origin. Did you know this? Did you know this? This is where this came from.
There was a lot of fan service in there.
We made jokes before about, hey, this movie's going to have the origin of Han Solo's blaster. It did. That's a joke.
That's not really a spoiler,
No,
because
like,
I mean that's just stupid.
Here's your weapon. Oh, I have a weapon.
Yeah. I mean, going into this movie, you expect to see him meet Chewbacca, you expect to see him meet Lando, you expect to see him get the Millennium Falcon, which all happens. We knew that was going to happen in this movie.
It all makes
but then
sense.
there's like smaller, like little details of stuff that they also are like, hey, by the way, remember this? And they're like, why? I don't care.
I didn't need to know how something happened to the Millennium Falcon. I didn't need to know how he got this, that, and the other. For me, it just goes back to this movie really wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
Overall, it was entertaining though.
It was entertaining. It was a good movie. Was it necessary? Did it create something in the Star Wars mythology that was missing? No.
Not really. I mean, maybe it's going to bring up some storylines for certain things that are spoilers. It's going to bring up certain storylines later on that might be touched in canon somewhere else. But as far as this movie goes,
there was no real need for it.
I could survive without it. I do want to get into, though, the actors in the movie. Mm-hmm. So the big two standouts that we got to talk about is Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo and Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian.
As I think this one is the one that we agreed on, that those were our two favorite standouts. Everybody else in the movie, they were there.
Yeah, they existed. They came in. They did their parts. They did what they had to do.
Some of them had a couple of funny lines. Jon Favreau as that like forearm thing. That was kind of.
I liked his character.
I like his character. He had some funny things about him. So.
Yeah, so I think going into it, people are wondering, how is Alden Ehrenreich going to do as Han Solo? Is he going to be doing a Harrison Ford impression the entire time? And he doesn't. But while not doing a Harrison Ford impression, he still did a good job portraying Han Solo's character. What is Han Solo about? How does he act? He's got that smug attitude and everything. He did a good job portraying that. It did feel like Han Solo. For all the faults this movie has that I don't believe him or Donald Glover are any of them. It's kind of along the same lines like when I was initially thinking of casting for this movie, I didn't initially pick out Donald Glover for Lando Calrissian. I was thinking Michael B. Jordan would do a good job as Lando, but then they picked Donald Glover and I was like, okay. I mean, I'm used to him from Community and some of his comedies and, you know, his whole childish Gambino persona, so I don't know how he's going to portray Lando exactly. Did good.
Like
Nailed it.
Smooth, classy.
And I remember him in interviews talking to Billy D. Williams saying, how should I do this? And Billy D's like, dude, just be charming. And he's like, all right, just be charming. And he was charming. So, I mean, between the two of them, those two are probably the highlights of the movie.
Yeah, definitely. So I believe the only thing that really stood out to me in this movie was the cinematography. There are a couple of places that they fly to that they just got some beautiful, gorgeous shots. Shots of the mountains, shots of like open plains, sides of cliffs, just gorgeous. And even some of like the outer space shots. They do show, again, not spoilery, but they do show the Kessel Run, and the whole graphics that they showed during the Kessel Run was actually really awesome looking.
Yeah, I think all of that they nailed on. I think that's one of the things you have to do with the Star Wars movie nowadays is if it doesn't look graphically appealing, it's going to take people out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the big things. As far as something else to touch on, we know that there's a whole lot of behind the scenes like trouble over the production and everything. They got rid of Chris Miller and Phil Lord because the movie that they wanted to direct wasn't necessarily in line with what Lucasfilm wanted. So they pulled in Ron Howard. That was a smart move. I think, again, despite the flaws of the movie, I think Ron Howard did the job that he needed to do and produced a movie that was entertaining. Mm-hmm. I don't think any of the flaws are any fault of Ron Howard. If anything, there might be flaws just based on the fact that the production kind of had its issues, but overall, I think he did a good job taking the reins and making sure that this movie got completed and was well done. I think that I'm going to actually give this thing... Unfortunately, I'm going to have to give this thing like 2.5 Falcons. That's the wrong franchise. Millennium Falcons, not Anthony Mackie.
For me, I'm probably going to have... I enjoyed it, but I think there were still some flaws that severely did not need to be in there. It was a good movie, but it was flawed. Mm-hmm. I'm probably just going to go ahead and give it a full 3 Millennium Falcons. So,
yeah. So, that's going to be our review. That's going to be our rating for it. As far as the matter is, it's a Star Wars movie, so I'm always going to say, hey, go see Star Wars movies in the theater. Even if I give it a 2.5, go see the movie. It's a Star Wars movie. It's still entertaining. It's fun. Don't try to think too long and hard about it being like, oh, I need this to be the Star Wars movie of my dreams. It's not going to be. But go into it, have fun, watch it, and then come back and watch more of our videos.
And do those YouTube things.
And do all the YouTube things. Subscribe, comment, like. Really helps us out big time with the channel and everything. Follow us on the social media. We got Instagram, Facebook, all of that, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.